What up, my fellow Knicks fans? This is your guy Marcellus Ease. Don't panic quite yet. Now, this will be part 4 of my series coverage between the Heat and Knicks, as the Knicks were always in position throughout this whole game to somewhat take over, but the only thing that kind of stopped them was little key mistakes and lack of paying attention to detail. The offensive rebounding by the Miami Heat ended up killing us throughout this whole game, especially in the second half. And when you look at some of our key guys like Julius Randle not actually stepping up, especially when Brunson's shot wasn't going, Randle's decision making when it came to the turnovers he had, him getting into foul trouble, which led him to an early exit in the fourth quarter, and a few other contributing factors like our bench being outscored 32-10, which is a continuation of what's been going on in the first 3 previous games. When you accumulate all these things, it's going to begin to weigh the team down, especially when the Heat themselves, particularly in this second half, were not shooting well. But yet, we kept on shooting ourselves in the foot with all these small mistakes. We weren't moving the ball as well also. I'll also be covering a few concepts Erik Spoelstra kind of ran in this certain matchup, as he tends to give us different looks, especially throughout this series as it goes on. But I'm not going to say no more. Let's just get to it.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
Now, this play right here is pretty much for concept. And as I'm going to show you, Bam right here is going to run a pin down screen, and he's going to force Quentin Grimes to actually guard him. And this is what I don't understand, why the Knicks have not, throughout this whole series so far, run any pin down screens when the Miami Heat are playing small. You got guys like Strus on Gabe Vincent. You got bigger guys like RJ, Josh Hart, Randle. Why aren't the Knicks running this type of screen? But you're going to see Bam lay it perfect on Quentin Grimes. Let's slow it down. Look at Bam. He's going to run that pin down. Watch the type of screen. See, and he forces Grimes right there to guard him. You see how he just holds on to him? So now he's going to force Grimes on him, and he's going to post him up. And he's going to force Mitchell Robinson, which Mitch could keep up with Gabe Vincent. But let's say if the Knicks had a slower, big man, he couldn't keep up with the guard. And if this vice versa would be Jalen Brunson on our end, offensive end, we could get him on a pin down, matched up with their big man, maybe Kevin Love, 101 right here. So this is just a concept for you guys to try to understand that this could actually work both ways. So let's just imagine the Heat players, once again, are Knicks players. The Knicks can run this type of screen to get more open shots or just more favorable one-on-one matchups for Brunson. But once again, let's take a look at the screen. You see how right there he forces Grimes to be with him? And we're just going to take a look at that one more time. Look at Bam right here on this screen. Look how he forces Grimes. Look at his arms. He holds on to Grimes. After he sets the legal screen, aka legal screen in 2023 terms, because the NBA definitely changed the way guys can throw screens. This is a pin down. This is a complete pin down right here. And now he forces Grimes, which he's the bigger body. He forces Grimes to actually guard him. And we have a better advantage to do that on the offensive end with Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, when Josh Hart is out there. And it also will open up things for Jalen Brunson to get this one-on-one matchup with their big man, aka versus Kevin Love or Cody Zeller. I don't understand why not once in this series did the Knicks run any type of pin down screens. This shit is crazy. But once again, for those of you who just sometimes question why the Heat got 7 undrafted players, but yet it's a close matchup against our guys, it's because the Heat are utilizing these type of concepts. Also, the concept of having Bam understand how to make reads and having guys having great off-ball movement and throwing fake screens and just going to the hoop. Guys are always moving. Look off this screen. With Bam, they got Strus moving. This is how the Heat kind of closed that gap with having 7 undrafted guys. This is really credit to Erik Spoelstra kind of running the Greg Popovich style type of offense, or just utilizing the art of basketball, I should say, which is a nuance that sometimes is overlooked due to now analytics and everyone trying to utilize and play copycat ball with the 3-point shot. Now, after seeing the Heat utilize that pin down screen, and now the Knicks are going on the offensive end, here's another concept that I found interesting. Eric Spoelstra had Kevin Love guarding Mitchell Robinson, and thus it was able to leave Bam all NBA defense going one-on-one with Julius right here. Now, this is where the Knicks could utilize that pin down screen and get Brunson one-on-one with Kevin Love. See how big Mitch is? Mitch can throw that same screen that Bam just did on Gabe Vincent. Now, another reason why I found it interesting that Eric Spoelstra kind of had Kevin Love with Mitch right here is I don't know if it was to get the Knicks getting a one-on-one rebounding battle with Randle and Bam, or just I don't know. It's a weird thing to have Kevin Love instead of Bam guarding Mitch. But once again, it's to get that one-on-one matchup with Julius. I'm wondering if it had an effect on the rebounding, because then that leaves Bam more freedom to go one-on-one or just try to prevent Julius from getting these offensive boards. This is an interesting concept. But once again, going back to that pin down screen, you see where the Knicks right here could utilize that. Once again, they don't really run those type of plays. It'll be something interesting to see if they just could apply something more like that into their offense, because there's numerous ways they can run down that screen. See, throughout this series, this is the exact matchup Julius should have been looking for. Right on Strus to back him down, go one-on-one. But at times we've seen him try to do the same thing to Bam, and it never works. But finally Julius picks up when to do it. But when he gets that one-on-one with Bam, I wish the Knicks just ran screens to get Julius off of him, because Julius is just not gonna beat him, not in this playoff round, just not in this playoff intensity atmosphere. Maybe during the regular season, but not in the playoffs. But this matchup is the one that Julius needed to get throughout this series, because him going one-on-one with Bam, it really affected his efficiency. When you look at the duo of just Jalen Brunson and Randle combined, they're averaging about 45 points a game average going into game 4 right here, shooting 43%, while the duo of Bam and Jimmy are shooting 50% with the same 45 points. So you see the difference with Julius going up against an all NBA defender like Bam, trying to do all that one-on-one ISO. It's affecting his efficiency, even though the Heat on the other end, Bam and Jimmy, are scoring at the same pace but far more proficient. So right here off the rebound, you're gonna see one of the many careless turnovers the Knicks had in that first quarter, which led to 5 turnovers, which the Heat converted for points. This has been pretty much the story of this matchup. The Heat converted 22 points off our careless turnovers. Once again, in the first half, we had 10 turnovers, and just this first quarter alone, within the first 8 minutes, we had 5. So the Knicks right here, stagnant on offense. Everybody's kind of parked out the 3-point line, allowing Miami to actually stop us from getting offensive rebounds. You see with this wall right here, once again, Grimes with another turnover. As he's, good move by Grimes attacking that zone, that man-to-man zone that they're running, kind of half and half between both. As now it's up to guys to collapse in the paint, get open or just go around. Brunson should try to show up right here, but Grimes is going to get the turnover here. It's going to lead to transition points. Now this play, once again, reminds you of the play with Grimes a few minutes ago, where guys bringing the ball up the court and just careless passing. Look at that. Look at that dump off by Randle. As they're gonna get points. Once again, keep converting off of these turnovers. The Heat had 22 points in this game. And when you combine that with us rebounding at a similar pace as the Heat, and their bench getting way more bench points than us, it begins to make sense why they have 7 undrafted guys, but yet keeping up with us. So right here with RJ Barrett, he causes the Knicks' 5th turnover in the first quarter, as he's going to, of course, make a cross-court pass, a really dangerous pass. But sometimes the Knicks leaders, between RJ, Randle especially, and Brunson is not really turnover prone like that, but it's just some of the Knicks core leaders like RJ and Randle They really got to cut down on these turnovers, boy. And it led to some points once again from the Miami Heat. And look at the score. You factor in all those turnovers, those careless inbound passes, us coming up the court trying to do a sloppy drop off, those turnovers getting points. We would have easily been up by 6 to 8 points. But look at that. Once again, we got 10 turnovers in that first half. And look, we're only still down by 9. Can you imagine we cut down on a lot of the bullshit? We'd be right back in this. And we're shooting not necessarily bad from 3-point range, but we're shooting bad just overall from the field, like anywhere. So we're not converting, we're also giving up points off of turnovers, and we're still in this game. So Miami's not really shooting us out the gym. They're just capitalizing off our mistakes. Check. So right here is the 10th turnover of the first half for the Knicks, as Mitch traveled right there. And that's pretty much been the story of that first half. But once again, look, we're only down by 8 points. Now in this play right here, the Knicks, throughout this whole series, this is not even one of the Kevin Love outlets, but throughout this whole series, they struggle with transition defense. As you're going to see, they kind of, I don't want to say they got caught flat-footed. Bam just kind of read it perfect. He attacked Brunson and kind of threw a screen at the same time. To the passer. See, look at Julius Randle trying to recover now. This has been the story of this whole series. Sometimes in transition defense, we get caught lacking. And most of the times, it's really them doing outlet passes. And that time right there, it seems like Bam just made a good read, and the Knicks were just trying to recover, but it was too late for a wide open pull-up 3. So once again, right here, look at off the Brunson made 3. Kevin Love with the Tom Brady pass. This has been the story of this series so far. With Kevin Love, he always gets off at least 2 or 3 outlets in these games. Just overall, the Heat in general. I don't know if the Kevin Love outlet kind of characteristic kind of trickled down to the rest of the team, but other players be doing it also. But for the most part, in the first 4 games, it seems like the Heat at least get anywhere from 6 to 10 points a game off these off of the Knicks' poor transition defense. Once again, in transition, our transition defense, man, it's been in question all season long. Give up another big 3. Yeah, you look at it once again, guys are all huddled up in transition defense. Nobody's kind of setting up, pointing at who they're marking. You know, Mitch just went for the pump fake. Maybe his recovery should have been here. But yeah, we're getting killed in transition defense. Yeah, Mitch is getting back, but who is he getting back to? Everybody's pretty much marked up. Mitch, when he was out of bounds right here after falling for the closeout, maybe his recovery should have been here. You know what, Julius Randle, it's the small things. Now look at him on this screen. He should have went over the top and tried to get to Kevin Love. He's been a little bit suspect, I gotta admit, with these closeouts on his defense. Look at it, he just kind of gives up. And Mitch was completely behind Gabe Vincent on this. So it's just right now he's in recovery mode. But Julius could have easily got over this and at least contested this. Kevin Love really just got an open jump shot. All right, so let's take a look at it one more time. Look at that. Look at this screen right here. Gabe Vincent is completely in front of Mitch. Mitch has to completely go around him. Randle has enough, you know, to go over the top and contest this shot. But look what Randle does. It stops. Once again, it's the effort. Kevin Love easily knocks down this 3-point shot. Easily knocks it down. Now, one of our strong suits coming into the season was having a number of guys coming off the bench to provide scoring. As we've seen it kind of play out in our favor in the Cleveland series, as one of their weak points was having guys off the bench that could not provide scoring. As our bench completely outscored the Cavs in that first round matchup. In game 1, it was 37-20. In game 2, we kind of lost that battle. We got 28 points to 36. In game 3, we scored 39 to their 14. In game 4, even though we won the game, our bench only got 10 points. They got 19. And of course, in that game 5 closeout, our bench dropped 32 points to their 19. So going back to this series right here against the Heat, and it's been a complete 180 turn. As in game 1, our bench scored 15 points to their 30. Game 2, we got 12 points to their 22. Game 3, we got 25 points to their 32. And including this game 4, our bench only scored 10 points and they got 32. So in the first 4 games of this series, their bench is averaging 31 points per game while ours is only averaging 14. And as you'll see in this second quarter, their bench unit right now with Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, Highsmith, Cody Zeller, these guys are going to outscore our bench unit, which include 2 of our starters. They're going to get outscored 11-2. And once again, it should be a kind of like a red alert that our bench unit 4 games in have been completely outscored by the Cavs bench. But once again, it should be sort of like an alert going off in your head that the Heat bench, including with this game 4, has averaged 31 points per game, while ours only averages 14 points. And we're 4 games into this series. So starting off this second quarter, once again, look at Miami's only winning by 1 point. Bench, their complete bench unit is in the game. The whole bench unit, and they're playing small. Cody Zeller at center. And they'll go on a 11-2 run to start off this second quarter. As we'll see here. Some of their guys just start making shots. Now, during this 11-2 run, the only reason the Knicks got 2 points because Jalen Brunson was able to draw a foul. And those 2 points did come off of free throw shooting. So it's not like they ran a play and they got it just through a regular play. This is crazy. But watch the Heat right here. Their guys begin to just start making shots with Duncan Robinson. Splash. Now, Obi misses 2 shots in a row. And before that, the Knicks had a shot clock violation followed by Brunson free throws. And now the Heat right now, after the Obi 2 missed shots, they're going to get an offensive board and just a nice little putback. But the run continues. Pay attention. That 1-point lead is now up to 6 points. The Knicks right here give up a non-rim protecting easy dunk once again. This got to be like the 5th dunk of the game by the Heat. Just the rim protection was non-existent. Once again, the Heat went 20 of 30 in the paint when it came to scoring. Now, Kyle Lowry right here, after the Obi made shot clock running down, makes an open 3. Sheesh. Now in game 4 for the Miami Heat, it was way too easy for them to get points in the paint as they shot 20 of 30. As you can see right here, Mitch doesn't quite get to it, but they had quite a few dunk attempts in this first quarter. The Knicks' rim protection in this game wasn't quite up to par. The Heat once again converting in the post very easily. They were 20 of 30 throughout this whole game. Once again, check out the rim protection. Jimmy Butler, he's going to have a straight line to attack the hoop. Guys are not really kind of protecting the rim as much. It's been too easy for Miami. And for this whole game, once again, the Heat went 20 of 30 from the paint. I mean, they just converted at a really high ratio. That right there was too easy. That right there was too easy for Jimmy Boy. So once again, look at Jimmy Butler right here. He's going to get to the lane virtually uncontested. And it makes sense why the Heat got so many points out the paint, man. Just 20 of 30 from this range. Just too easy. Once again, right here with Jimmy Beans. Too easy for him to get into the lane. He doesn't even look like he's even contested. Look at that. Just, what the hell is that? That's an easy ass layup, man. Like, no one's there to even contest him. Let's take a look at this one more time. Let's see who's going to be there on the recovery. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. All eyes on Jimmy Beans. Damn. Is Brunson late? Because he's not really even open like that. Could have stepped up a little bit. And Josh Hart is already going downhill, so he could recover on Struce. And Randle should advance more, man. Like, I don't know. I can't blame these guys right now because the Heat are just hot from 3. So You see how the Heat actually making their 3-point shots now is opening things up. If the Heat were shooting like they did on the regular during the series, which was so, is that we were shooting horribly, but now they're just getting a lot more respect. Guys are not kind of just filling in these gaps. Oh man, no wonder the Heat just ate this whole game just in the paint. Remember, they were 20 for 30 going to the hole. The guys are just, yeah, they just respected the 3-point shooting a lot. It all makes sense because we're just getting killed in this quarter. In retrospect, now it makes sense why Jimmy Butler had an easy layup right here, but it doesn't make sense why in the first half, guys were late on their rotations and guys were just getting dunks and easy, just straight line drives to the hoop. But now this layup should actually make sense with Jimmy Butler. But because of the 3-point shooting is now on point from the Heat. But before, when the Heat weren't shooting that great, where was the help defense? Where were the solid defensive rotations? Once again, Knicks transition defense is really called into question. As look at Randle, no contest, just easy lay-in. Where's the rim protection all game? It's just non-existent. Hey, honestly, I don't know what was going on in this series with the rim protection. It was almost non-existent. Too easy right there. Now look at the Knicks in the fourth quarter, our key guys. How much fouls they got. I wonder if this contributed to that soft ass defense in the paint, just with no type of rim protection. So this right here sums up the rim protection for the night. Look at Killer Martin. Since when is he going up like that? What? Since when? I tell you what, boy, them PEDs in Miami must be kicking in. I don't know what's going on over there. So the story of this game has been our rim protection. As you can see, Jimmy's going to drive on RJ, which he's been killing RJ all series long on these drives. Interesting enough, Quentin Grimes is right here guarding Strus. I'm wondering why he just wasn't matched up with Jimmy instead of RJ, because when Jimmy's one-on-one with Grimes, it tends to be a different story. But look at Mitchell Robinson on this play, as he's not going to fully commit right here. And I'm wondering just what happened. Just look at Mitch. He just sort of stops. No commitment. At least go up and have both of your arms. Even if you can't get there, just have some sort of contest, because Jimmy just gets to the hoop way too easily. As you guys see in this segment, it's been all game long. Guys are just almost virtually uncontested going into the hoop. So Jalen Brunson in this game, a lot of his points came off of free throw shooting, as he went to the line 11 times, but he was cold from 3. So we're going to take a look at how the Miami Heat is guarding him. Look at that. The defender has no choice but to go under. But look, they have Cody Zeller dropping back. They're giving Brunson the space, which is unlikely. You know, in previous games when he was hot, they tend to have guys kind of guard him very close, all the way even out here, which opened things up for guys like RJ and Josh Hart and other players to maneuver more. But with him being cold, they're actually having guys drop back and cover the perimeter. He's going to miss this open shot. But with him not being hot, it's similar to Donovan Mitchell. Him not being hot from downtown. But Brunson not being hot from downtown is similar to Donovan Mitchell, in which he's not going to really have the breathing room to attack the paint as much. As guys are now going to begin to know where to go, block his lanes to actually penetrate and create things for other guys. But for the most part in this game, Brunson's 3-point shooting ability, it wasn't really there. So Jalen Brunson not only had trouble shooting from 3, but he had a couple of field goal possessions like this where he just sort of chucked it up. But the only thing I could wonder is, why is he so 1v1 with an all NBA defender like Jimmy Butler and nobody's moving? Nobody's throwing a screen. Nobody's throwing screens to get other guys open. Everybody just stagnant at the 3-point line. This doesn't make any sense. Jimmy Butler is a bigger defender and he's all defensive NBA. It doesn't make any sense. Jalen Brunson once again didn't quite have it from 3. You're going to watch Kevin Love off this pick and roll kind of tread back and wait for Gabe Vincent to recover. Normally when Brunson is hot, Kevin Love will normally hedge right here and force Jalen Brunson to kind of force him along this baseline here for a longer stride. But they're kind of not respecting his shot as it's not falling. But most of Jalen Brunson's points, as you see right there real quick, Kevin Love backed up, gave Jalen Brunson the space, but they normally wouldn't play him like this while Gabe Vincent recovers. When he gets hot, they normally defend him differently, but with the adjustment, he's not hot right now. But most of his points, as I was saying before, they came from him just going to the free throw line, as in this game, he went to the line about 11 times. But from the field, he was kind of cold. But even with Brunson's shooting woes, look at the score. In the third quarter, we are still well in this game. So with Jalen Brunson right here, even when he got to his spots in this game, the ball just didn't really fall in. This is his spot right here. Nothing was really falling for him, even from three and just the usual, killer spots that he kills teams from. He does that 1-footer floater, that fadeaway, just even from the mid-range when he does that turnaround jump shot, just nothing really falling. Usually from this side of the court is where he usually kills from, but even those are not falling in this game. He just didn't really have it. So at halftime it's 48-56. As you see right here, the Knicks kind of shooting no worse than the Miami Heat from three. But once again, the Heat in this game finished 20 of 30 from close range, just attacking the hoop, points in the paint. So they're shooting 52%. That's one of the differences. And also when you add in the fact that the Knicks are turning the ball over like crazy and it's leading the Heat to get transition points, you see where you start to see that gap. So when you always look at this matchup and be like, the Heat got 7 undrafted players, it doesn't make sense that we're losing this game. You begin to see some of the small metrics that kind of closes that gap. Once again, you're seeing similar stats when it comes to the three-point shooting. 6 of 15, the Heat at 8 of 18. Not that much of a difference. But as you can see right here, the Heat have good ball movement. And then once again, the bench points. Oh, man. Especially in the start of that second quarter. This is where they've been killing us all series. And the fact that when you look at this whole series, we're into game 4. The Knicks have not yet controlled just overall this one metric right here. And that is once again the bench scoring. So coming into this series, the Knicks are averaging about 14 points a game from the bench. And the Heat are averaging 31 points a game from the bench. Once again, in game 1, our bench scored 15 points. The Heat scored 30. Game 2, we scored 12. He got 22. Game 3, we scored 25. They scored 32. And in the final, this game 4, we only got 10 bench points and the Heat got 32. So when you factor in the combination of all these small things, and also due to the fact that the Heat kind of kept us off the boards from getting offensive rebounds, things begin to get quite close. Now in this third quarter, things got interesting because the Knicks, they got hot, man. The Knicks were rolling offensively. They were 13 of 17 from the field, but the Heat just killed us with three-point shooting. As we're going to see a lot of our offensive possessions, guys just got in stride, but for some reason the Heat just got hotter. So the Heat getting hot from three-point land during this nice third quarter from the Knicks offensively for us. It's been great. But look at the score, even after all the turnovers and fuck-ups. We only down by 2. And with Kevin Love hitting this 3, we're going to be down by 5. But we still in this. So continuing on with the third quarter, the Heat once again getting hot from 3. And we're only down by 3 at this point. But with this three-point shot, the Heat will go up by 6. So the Miami Heat, even though it was halftime, they were shooting almost about the same as us from three-point range. Slightly better. When I say slightly better, just by 2 shots. But in this third quarter, the story of it is pretty much the Heat and their timely threes. Once again, another 3 to put them up 8. So once again, the Knicks in the second half so far, look at that. They're shooting 71%. They're having a beautiful third quarter. But the Heat are just hitting timely threes. And they're actually getting second chance opportunities, but they're hitting timely threes. As once again, we'll see them hit another timely 3 right here. But look at the score. We're only down by 5. And Kyle Lowry, of course, hits a shot to put him up by 8. This kept on happening during the third quarter. The Knicks are only down by 4 once again after the Heat hitting all these crazy shots. we're still making ours at the other end. But damn, just another timely 3 to put them up by 7. Now this is the story of the third quarter. Look at Jimmy Butler off that dud play. Max Strus just hitting that. Since when? This is crazy how this is happening now in the third quarter, man. Just all these timely 3s. So unfortunately for the Knicks, when they got very hot from the field in this third quarter, the Heat went on a tear from 3-point range. So with this game being very slow paced, the Heat had about 9 more possessions than the Knicks. And when you look at plays like this, just us giving up a few second chance points. I mean, look at this. Look at RJ and Grimes. Just not securing this rebound allows Jimmy Boy in the next inbound to actually get 2 free throw shots as he draws a foul. And he gets 2 free throw shots. But once again, it gives the Miami Heat another opportunity to score. And possessions like this, it end up being the kind of thing that kind of put the dagger in us at the end of this game. Once again, remember that he got 9 more shot attempts up than we did in this game. And look at this rebounding right here. RJ trying to play taps. Accidentally goes to the wrong guy, and then the Heat were able to convert easily. How many dunks have we seen in this matchup so far? Guys are just getting to the rim easily. The rim protection has been very little. But once again, the Knicks had an excellent third quarter here. The only thing is that the Heat, just with a few extra second chance points, and they actually got hot from 3. Now, early in this segment, I said something about the Heat actually used Kevin Love right here to box out Mitchell Robinson and allow Bam to actually, retrieve these defensive rebounds and not allow the Knicks to crash the boards. Now, look at Kevin Love right here. This is interesting that they put Kevin Love on Mitch. Even though Mitch has that height advantage, but maybe Kevin Love is better at the box out. But look at this box out right here. Good box out on Mitch. But they kind of used them in this way, which I found very interesting. Okay, so remember that bench unit that went on that 11-2 run in the second quarter? Well, in this third quarter here, they're back at it again, but except they get cold from 3 as they missed quite a few 3s just to start off this fourth quarter. Okay, so off of that offensive rebound, Kyle Lowry chucks it up again. Another brick, but another offensive rebound by the Heat. And now they toss it to Duncan Robinson. And just another brick, and I cannot believe it. Miami still gets the possession once again as there is a loose ball foul. So the Heat right here is going to get another attempt and another miss. But yet Miami, finally, the ball goes the Knicks' way. But look at all the shot attempts. Look at all the misses and the second chance points. And look at that. We're just fortunate just to be down under single digits. Sheesh. Now, all that good 3-point shooting that the Miami Heat did in that third quarter, this fourth quarter just continues to erase it. Their shooting was horrible. But look what bails them out. Another fucking offensive rebound. Fellas, right here, look at that. Under single digits still. 8 minutes left. Plenty of time. But it's just the small things. Look at this rebound by RJ. Stepping out of bounds. It's the small details right here that just really cost us this game. So the Heat are now going to have another fucking possession. Now the Knicks played excellent defense in this possession right here. Look at that. 6-point game. But look what happens once again. The fucking offensive rebounding that leads to second chance points. The Heat had 7 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. Oh my God. They pushed this shit back up to 8, man. Okay, so I'm just looking at the Knicks rebound and I'm wondering what the hell is going on. What do guys have their bodies positioned like that the rebound is just so fluky? They were able to secure it here, but it just looks so flimsy. Like guys don't have their arms spread out. There's no sort of box out. Their body's a little bit too skinny right now. Kind of widen their stance so they can feel guys out who's coming up behind them. Just look at this. It's just a little too flimsy right there. Like, what was that? Let's look at that one more time. Okay, let's look at this frame by frame. What's going on here? Bodies are extremely. That's what I mean. Like, guys are like needed to widen their stance a little bit more, because look how Khalid Martin just kind of zigzags around Brunson to get in here. You know, even Grimes in a way just walking towards the rebound, just have a wider stance, sort of like how Julius is right here. But even Julius, like, well, the ball kind of hit off the rim. I give him credit, kind of fluky, which has been the story of this game so far. But it's just been flimsy, man. Like, let's catch the ball and stop playing taps. Like, Jesus, like, look at that. Just everything just looks so flimsy after all these fucking offensive rebounds. Guys are playing fucking taps in the paint. Once again, fellas, look at the score. Ooh, them bench points looking deadly, man. Shit, they are killing us. But look at the score. We are under single digits. 3 minutes left. The Heat are still shooting like shit. But look, another offensive rebound. Wow. So once again, we're coming down to crucial times in the fourth quarter. About to be under 2 minutes. Julius Randle just fouled out, but yet we're still under single digits. And the Heat are still shooting like shit though. But once again, what kills us is the offensive rebounding. My God. Just Miami's second chance points is unreal in this game. So right here, shot clock winding down, 5 seconds left. Bam has the ball out here in the perimeter, which is perfect. And look, we're still down by single digits with enough time to get a stop and continue going offensively. And then just look, the story of the game, these fucking offensive rebounds by the Heat. Man, it's just, I don't know if the ball is just hitting off the rim and it's just going their way, but this has killed us this quarter. Just 7 offensive rebounds alone in the fourth quarter for the Heat. Unbelievable. So there you have it. Basically, when the Knicks got hot in the third quarter, the Heat just got hot from 3. But at the end of the day, they were able to convert at higher percentage shots, especially in the paint, going 20 for 30 in that area. And also when you factor in the Knicks, just all the turnovers we have, and the fact that the Heat were able to get 22 points off our turnovers, and they had more assists than us, you begin to see why the gap started to close on us. And also when you factor in Julius Randle with his struggles getting into foul trouble. Also, you got to contribute the bench scoring, how the Heat were able to outscore us 10 to 32. So in totality, after these first 4 games, the Knicks bench is averaging 14 points a game. The Heat bench is averaging about 31 points. So when you look at all these small little contributing factors, and you add that on top of our leaders not paying attention to small details, it actually becomes surprising that this game, for the most part, was under single digits, or just the Heat just only had a 10-point lead. It shows you that their shooting and their offensive repertoire is not that crazy. It's just we're fucking up so much. But heading into MSG, we'll see if they make the necessary adjustments needed. Especially with Quickly still being out, they're gonna need somebody else to step up besides the Knicks 3. And will Julius step up? Because so far for this series, he has been inconsistent. Especially due to the fact that the duo of Butler and Bam almost have the same output as a duo of Brunson and Julius. The key contributing factor is Julius Randle's inconsistency as far as his scoring, and also due to the fact that he has all these turnovers and his efficiency. It kind of brings down the efficiency of the Knicks star duo versus the Heat, as Bam and Jimmy have the same output but are far more proficient. But we'll see if they make the necessary adjustments needed. But until next time, you fellas, stay safe. Peace.